Are we live? How's it going, everybody? We're live for a new one. We're talking about different football topics regarding the college football finals, the championship, the results. I would just say I was disappointed in the outcome, but we will be talking about that. We will also be talking about what happened in the playoffs. Also,
This
Coach
past
hires,
weekend.
yes, this past weekend, Coach hires and fires, and we're also going to be talking about a surprise player who has gotten released from another team. Okay, so first topic, the college football national championship. The game was in Miami, and sadly, the Hurricanes ended up losing the game. What were your thoughts on this game, Jay?
I don't know why you dragging it out. They lost, bro. It's that simple. Indiana won 27-21. Indiana claims their first ever national championship in program history. And to make it even more sweeter, they did it in Miami's backyard at the Hard Rock Stadium. I mean, honestly, I wasn't surprised. Like, I was surprised when Indiana went undefeated, but after that, I wasn't surprised by them anymore. Signetti been a great coach since he got there. They went 11-1 last year. This year, they went 16-0 to win their first ever national championship in school history. I mean, honestly, all this showed me was Coach Signetti is the best coach in college football right now. And there should be some NFL teams reaching out and asking him, would he be interested in making the jump? His first year, because after he won several championships with JMU before they moved up to the FCS level, he won several championships at JMU. Then he goes to Indiana in his first season and go 11-1. And then year two, he wins a natty. It was insane. Indiana struck early, 10 points, 10-0 at halftime at their early field goal and a block punt return for a touchdown that set the tone. Miami battled back in the second half behind strong offensive plays, including a big run and 2 touchdowns that kept the Hurricanes within reach. With under 10 minutes left, Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza bulldozed in a gritty 12-yard run on fourth down that pushed Indiana ahead for good. Miami's final push was thwarted at a late interception from Jamari Sharp, sealing a victory for the Hoosiers. Fernando was the offensive MVP, which was essentially became at that game-winning rush. I mean, there's a lot of things to take away from this, and I have ultimately an opinion that I'm going to stay after you say how you felt about this game.
I'm gonna just say this, man. My co-host Jay, I have to agree with them. I wasn't surprised because they went undefeated. I'm your other co-host, Money, by the way. I must say, I was surprised in the way they won. Like Mendoza didn't have an MVP type of game. The running backs didn't run crazy. None of the receivers put up incredible stats. It was just they
I
won.
mean, if you look at it, nobody had a crazy game overall.
I'll say Fletcher had a pretty good game, 17, 112 for Miami, 2 touchdowns. And then Tony, by the way, for everybody, Tony is only 18 years old.
Freshman,
Uh,
true freshman.
yes, he should be in high school right now, by the way. 10 receptions, 112, 122 yards, and a touchdown. You know who he reminds me of, bro?
Oh,
Percy Harvin. How they
I don't
use
say
him all.
Percy Garvin, no.
I'll say a little bit about how they handle the ball. They throw it to him. He returns. I'm not saying he's that explosive. I'm just saying a
I
little
would
bit
say
of how
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, I don't know if you're too familiar with his collegiate career, but he played every position on offense: wide receiver, running back, quarterback, punt return. That's actually why he declared early, because his dad felt like they was using him too much. Fun fact: his dad said he
Really?
should leave. They're using you way too much. He said the moment he saw his son line up at quarterback for the Wildcat and then drop back and throw the pass the next play, he was like, "This is too much." So he highly recommended him declare for the draft and leave.
Man, I'll say he's an explosive college wide receiver.
Yeah, he's
He's
awesome. Awesome kid.
Let me ask you this, bro. By his junior year, you think he'd be a first round pick?
If he keeps producing like this, absolutely. I mean, obviously you worry about the size, but we've seen guys that small go first. He's not the fastest, which is my only concern with him, because usually when they're that small, they're like burners. But he's not burners. He is a shiftier player, and obviously he's a great route runner for his age. And like you said, he left high school a year early. So to be out there making the plays he did, especially on the biggest stage, he's a dog, man. He's a dog.
Bro.
And Miami got him for 2 more years.
Bro, he'll be 20 when he declares.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna say for everybody, when we talk about the size, he's 5'11", 188. So I'll say by his junior year, what do you see him getting to 200, 210?
190 max.
Really?
190, 195. Yeah, he's not going to be big. He's not going to be too big like that. I say 192 max, actually. I think when he declares, he'll be 192, maybe 193. I don't think he's going to get much bigger.
You don't think 200? Because I think you're going to need to get to 200 because some corners in the NFL, they're a different breed, bro.
Yeah. But no, I don't see him hitting 200.
I see maybe, but I might have to agree with you.
Luther Burden ain't 200 pounds, and you loved him coming out. Exactly. You love Luther Burden coming out of college. So, yeah. I think he'll be around the same type of player as him, maybe a little better, because we didn't really hear about Luther until his last 2 years. We're hearing about this kid as a freshman. So I have high expectations for them. And then speaking of high expectations, I think I'm finally comfortable saying Fernando Mendoza is a good quarterback. But with that being said, I don't think he should be your number 1 pick.
Really? Oh, man. So, okay, let me ask you this, bro. You're the Raiders with the number 1 pick. You know what's funny? You called this first. They were talking about the Raiders need to talk with the Ravens and try to trade the number 1 pick.
I'm telling you,
Jackson.
Who says no? First of all, I text Money this off camera. He immediately was like, no, I would never do that. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, there's rumors that the Raiders could potentially move Lamar. The Raiders, could potentially trade for Lamar, and the Max Crosby would be involved.
No, I didn't see the Crosby, but I just seen the number 1 pick.
I mean, the number 1 pick, you got to give us something for that contract, too. And Max Crosby's just gruntle. I think he would be included in that trade and the one I had made up. But, yeah, I could see it. Because the thing about it is, bro, the whole team is bad offensively. The team is terrible offensively. Your O-line sucks. Your running backs, I give him a pass because the O-line is bad. Because I think it was crazy because he had more yards after contact than from scrimmage or something like that, and he was getting hit in the backfield on like a bunch of plays. So I won't hold that against him. His O-line was awful. You know what I'm saying? Your wide receivers aren't that good. I had high expectations for Trey Tucker, and he let me down repeatedly. They had Jacoby Myers, but he became disgruntled, so they had to move him. They have what's his name? We both like Dante Thornton.
Yes.
Thornton has a lot of potential. But as my old coaches tell me, you know what potential mean? Potential mean you ain't done it yet. So until he gets to that point, he's going to be a guy with a lot of potential. With that size and speed, I think he can be a really good receiver if he put it together. Darian Porter's on defense. I'm talking about the offense. Darian Porter's awesome. That defense is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Max Crosby maybe get like a linebacker or something else and maybe another piece in the secondary. As a whole, though, I think the defense is good. It's the offense that's abysmal. If you don't have an offense in today's NFL, you're not winning no championship. Bro, you got 05, 04 Ravens ain't walking through the door. Whatever the Ravens was crazy defensively.
Arguably number one tight end in football.
Yeah.
On your team.
That's the only bright spot. Him and I guess Genty, because Genty isn't going into his second year. So you bring in a guy who, in my opinion, is not better than Geno Smith. And Geno was bad last year. No and to bust about. Geno was bad last year. So you're bringing in a quarterback not better than Geno Smith to do what? To play worse than Geno? And he's already going to have these high-ass expectations because he's the number one pick. You're setting that kid up to fail. Raiders have too many holes on their entire roster to be like, oh, we're taking a quarterback. The smart thing to do, see if you can get Lamar or see if you can trade back, get somebody on that offensive line, because once you establish your run game, then we can go for there. Get you a 1-year rental. But we need to establish this offensive line. You get you a 1-year rental. Malik Willis is a name that's been floating around. You bring him in for a year. If he's awesome again, then you re-sign him long term. If he's not awesome, you're probably picking top 5. Now you can go get your quarterback, because I believe the class next year have better quarterbacks.
I agree with you. The class next year is much better.
So don't reach on a quarterback you don't love. And he's not going to come in and change your franchise. It's not even to say he's not good. Like I said, that's why I said on the front end, I do believe he's good. But that is not a good situation to be in.
Jay, I'm going to say this, Jay. Look at the games where he played top-tier competition. He's not just jumping off the screen.
Right.
Like, look at
he managed the game exceptionally.
Jay, he had 185 yards. 16 and 27
touchdown.
Yeah,
his strength is his poise.
Yes.
Like, if you look at the entire playoffs, he had 0 turnovers. The entire playoffs and the conference championship game, 0 turnovers. That's what makes Cignetti such a great coach, that he's coaching his boys up to be extremely disciplined. You had no playoffs. You had no turnovers in 6 games.
Wow.
Like, that's nuts. That's something he coaching the boys up to be extremely disciplined, and it shows. And Mendoza's very poised, and he's from Miami, right?
Yeah, him and the corner that with the game winning pick are both from Miami.
I didn't know about the corner, but yeah, he asked them. He wanted to walk on. Miami told him, we're not interested in any walk-ons. He wanted to walk on from the University of Miami. He said, you don't got to give me a scholarship, just give me a tryout. They said no. So, you know how good it probably feels for him to go home and put belt to ass on the team that told him he wasn't even good enough for a tryout?
I would feel some type of way, because to me, Carson Beck hasn't looked exceptional either.
He got the team there.
He got him there, but he hasn't looked like, hey, I'm going to carry this team through and through type of quarterback. But he's done a lot better than people expected.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
especially
nobody
last year, he wasn't very good in Miami, in my opinion. And to
Man,
bounce back
Georgia.
to Cincinnati. Oh yeah, I thought he was with him 2 years. No,
nah, this is he was with Georgia last year.
Oh, that's right, because Cam Ward was there. I'm tripping. Yeah, he wasn't that great with Georgia, and to come here after following up Cam Ward, who no matter what people think of Cam Ward, he didn't play in the Natty last season.
That's fair.
Here we are. So.
Let me ask you about Mark Fletcher Jr. What do you think about him?
He has moments where he's like, all right, he's one of the better players in the country. Then he has moments where it seems like he kind of takes plays off, and that's the concern for me.
You seen he threw that punch, and did you hear the whole story about what happened, why he threw that punch?
There's 2 sides to every story, or as I like to say, it's 3 sides to every story. His, yours, and the truth. So, yes, I heard the story that he supposedly said something about someone that passed away or something like that along those lines. His dad. But you got to be composed. Somebody's going to say something to get under your skin. And then I don't like the comments where people say, oh, I guess words hurt. Yeah, somebody say something too offensive to you, you're going to feel some type of way. That doesn't dismiss what he said. If the kid did say that, he was dead ass wrong too. But you have to be more composed, knowing you're going to the NFL draft, knowing these white billionaires.
He's staying.
He's staying?
He's staying.
Why is he staying?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Because I had him projected pretty high, but okay.
Where'd you have him projected?
I had him going at least first round, late first.
Yeah, they say that he's coming back. I don't understand why. You're running back. You played the most punishing position in the league, like in college football. I would if I was a running back, I would never come back if I'm guaranteed first or second round.
Yeah. So I mean, I was shocked to hear that, but no, he's it was just bad decision by him. I mean, obviously him coming back, he can rebuild his character, because that honestly hurt his draft stock. They already view us negatively, and then you do something like that. So yeah, that definitely hurt his drag stock. So it may be smart for him to come back.
Man, I don't know, Jay. We've seen so many good running backs get injured in college,
That is
and
true.
and that's changed their whole career. Like my favorite running back was Lattimore. Remember
Yeah.
Lattimore?
Mm-hmm.
And at South Carolina, and that injury, he never was the same after that, bro.
Yeah.
They say Willis McGahee probably would have been better if that injury never happened, which is
Most
scary to
game had a
think
pretty good
about.
career. Yeah, he had a really good NFL career.
Anybody else you can think of? That was a great running back, but one injury changed their whole career.
Not really. I mean, it's just everyone's different, you know. Like a lot of people don't know this. Shady McCoy broke his leg in high school.
Really?
Yeah, he had a real bad. He broke it. Is either his leg or his ankle. He broke something in high school. Had to get screws and the plate in and everything, and he lost a lot of his scholarships. And he ended up going to Pitt and doing enough to get drafted. And lo and behold, he was arguably one of the best running backs for his peak.
Let's have his error. Have his error.
That boy's a
So,
dog, man.
so yeah. I'm gonna say, where would you think Beck would get drafted? Because TJ and I had a conversation joking about it. He's like, man, that's the Dolphins' next quarterback, and I'm like, I don't know.
He's not getting drafted in the first. No
I
one's going
don't,
to
I don't
reach on
see
him. He
that.
didn't do enough, especially with him losing the job. Like teams look at that. They look at they're more forgiving with the transfer because the way the college atmosphere is now with all the transfer portal stuff. But when it comes to like, oh, he lost his job here and transferred to a new school. Oh, he lost his job here and transferred to another school. They look at stuff like that. So they look at that and they look at his reason for transferring. I don't see him going no higher than the 4th round.
Dang, you're a tough grader than me because I was thinking third.
Yeah, no, I don't see it. I mean, the fact he played in the Natty and then he did do better. A lot of teammates had nice things to say about him as a leader in the locker room. So I think that does help. You rebuilt your image because George, they'll say a lot of negative things about him. They're saying he's a bad teammate. They're saying that he didn't care about winning. It was a lot of negative things being said when he was at Georgia. So the fact that he rebuilt his reputation a little bit, I think that does because before he started there, I had him undrafted.
Wow.
Yeah, cause so now since he rebuilt his reputation and he played good this year. He might not have had the game he wanted in the Natty, but he played good enough to get the team there. Obviously, you got guys like Fletcher helps too, but I thought he played really well. And yeah, I could see him going 4th round.
Okay. Okay. What about that defensive end from Miami? I think he's going top 10 at worst.
Yeah, he was a big part on that defense, man. He was the reason why Indiana ain't put up 50 like they've been doing.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, Jay. When he jumped off sides, bro, that changed the whole. It changed everything, bro, because it went from it being 4th down to them getting another chance.
And
And
as a former athlete, I can tell you from experience, when your best player makes a mistake like that, it deflates the whole team. Because it's like, he made that? Like something that's very uncharacteristic for, like I said, one of your leaders and better players on your team. When they make that mistake, you just like, bro, this ain't it. This ain't looking good.
I think he's probably one of the better Miami defensive ends because I think he's better than Russo and Phillips, who are both went 1st round.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Where do you think he's going? Top
I
5,
agree with
top
you.
10?
He top 10. Yeah, top 10 for sure.
I agree with you. We gotta have to put his name down for everybody and let everybody know that Miami has some studs on that D line. They got some studs on that D line, and we're gonna have to put them down. Um, let's go in top 5. We'll talk about them when we do our mock draft and everything
Yes, I
because
can't wait for that. I'm actually excited for that.
that's they have some dogs on that team.
You ready to talk some NFL?
Oh yeah, you
All right,
ready?
let's focus on the coaches first before we get to the recap of the playoffs. So I got them all written down plus the favorites. So
Okay.
I'm gonna just read them off and just jump in whenever you're ready. All right.
All right.
All right. So first thing first, I got a lot of flack for this one when I gave my Tomlin opinion. Tomlin stepped down as head coach of the Steelers. It was long overdue. He should have been fired, honestly, probably 3 years ago. And so the fact that, and honestly, I heard some rumblings that they talked to him like, hey, we respect you enough where we're going to highly encourage you to step down, opposed to them firing him or mutually part ways because he's been there for 19 seasons. He has 2 years left on his contract, so a team would, I guess, technically have to trade for him. But I personally believe this is a quiet firing. What are your thoughts on this one?
I agree with you. I think they had respect for him, and they're like, it's too many one and dones, bro. Like, we love you, but you're not going anywhere. Ever since that Super Bowl,
nope.
You know what, Jay? I got a team to look out for. Mike Tomlin going to after I see what I have to say. I think that they're like, hey, you're not doing much. We think that we can go in a different direction, and they're interviewing the Dolphins' former coach Brian Flores.
Yeah, I got all that written. Like I said, I got the candidates written down, bro.
Oh, okay, but I think that Tomlin might potentially stay in the AFC and go to Buffalo.
He's reportedly taking a year off.
Well, the year after, he could potentially go to Buffalo. He hasn't
gonna fire your coach. You gonna hire a guy and be like, all right, you was a 1 year rental, you got to bounce.
Well, he never had it. Besides Big Ben, he hasn't had a quarterback on that level because he got Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was old.
But at some point, as a head coach who's considered to be one of the greatest coaches ever, you need to develop a quarterback. You was gifted Aaron Rodgers at the beginning of your career. Then once Rodgers retired, you haven't had Big Ben good too.
Ben Roethlisberger.
I mean, excuse me, why I say Rodgers? Big Ben at the beginning of your career, and then after that, like bro, it's just so much to it, dog. I just think Tomlin's just so overrated. Like, let's get into it, money. First and foremost, you never developed a quarterback. Big Ben was gifted to you at the beginning of your career as you started. Then towards the end of his career, when he was stir-fry, the cracks started happening. You got by on having a good defense, and it's like, okay, cool. Now, fast forward to this past season, you have the highest paid defense in the NFL, and they were terrible. How are you terrible with TJ Watt? It doesn't make any sense. And another thing too, money, if he's this great coach, name one of the coaches from his coaching tree that has a head coaching job.
That's an argument that I seen. I was like, names a coaching, somebody off his coaching tree that's got a head coaching job. And
he's never had such great coordinators that they went on to be their own head coaches. To be quite honest, I can't even name who's been the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator besides Arthur Smith in the past 10 years.
Yeah,
that's the only one I personally can name.
But he was a linebacker coach. So
Arthur Smith, he was the OC.
No. I was saying for Tomlin, he had Brian Flores, but he was a linebacker coach, and Brian Flores wouldn't even be from his coaching tree. Brian Flores is
exactly.
From,
I'm talking about the OC and DC, someone that got a job from his umbrella. No one.
Nobody.
So I just can't with Tomlin, dog. I just think he's anyways, like I said, they're moving on, and I got a couple names written down. One more thing before we get into the breakdown of these teams. Chiefs fired Matt Nagy, their offensive coordinator. He's been bad, bro. He's been terrible, and we've seen the Chiefs offense. The Chiefs offense has been so bad on him, people are questioning, is Patrick Mahomes done? Think about that, money. The offense has been so bad, we've hearing people say, oh, Patrick Mahomes don't got it no more. He's done. And you know who they brought back?
You called it Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy is back being the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. So if Patrick Mahomes is able to come back, which I still think is a long shot, even though he said he'll be back week 1, I think it's a long shot. I'm hella excited to see Patrick Mahomes back with EB. Really excited to see that.
You called it. You called it. You're like, watch he goes back or something.
It's the perfect storm, man. You get rid of your bad OC. He's without a job because he's just been in some honestly fucked up situations. Now he's going to get an opportunity to go coach well again.
Hey Jay,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about this because remember we talked about this scenario. What if when Andy Reid, the Chiefs are like, "Hey, just be patient. When Andy Reid retire, you're gonna be the next guy because you
Which
got
he should have been. He
familiarity."
should have stayed. He never should have left, which I understood why he left. Don't get me wrong. I understood it. But I still think that's what you should. You should have talked to him like, hey, promise me a shot. When Andy goes, whenever that is, I'm not rushing. I can be patient and have his back and be the best partner in crime for him ever. But promise me when he does call it quits, you're going to give me that opportunity to run the show. And now come back, I think that's what they're going to tell him because that's what ultimately what he wants is an HC job. And I think this is the best situation for him to get the head coach's job because we know Andy don't have too many years left. He's getting old. I'm reading things now, all rumors. Nothing's been confirmed, but I'm reading things about his health not being the best. So that's concerning as well. So
How old is he? Is he in his 60s?
Reed, I'm not sure. Let me look it up real quick. Sorry for the viewers. I don't know that off the top of my head. I want to say 72. Andy Reid or 68. 67. I was close.
Yeah, he's right there.
So I'm going from worst coaching spot to best potential spot for head coaches. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. First on the board, as we all know, the Arizona Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon. The front runner for this job is Vance Joseph, DC of the Broncos, Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator of the Steelers, and Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator of the Bills.
You want to hear my comments on that?
Yes, sir.
I don't like everybody's like Vance Joseph is this hot commodity, but he's got an opportunity and he did terrible.
I mean, we've seen that happen before. Coaches do bad their first time around and bounce back.
But I think that Arizona Cardinals job is just set himself up for failure.
But money, what we talked about during the offseason, the black coaches get which jobs?
The bad ones. That's why I'm like, he did terrible because he got a Broncos job when the Broncos job wasn't that good. And now he's in that Cardinals job. And
yeah. So he's the favorite to get that job. But like we say, the black coaches always end up with the bad job, sadly. And then it's going to be a situation where he's a year and done or 2 years and done after giving Jonathan Gannon 3 years of mediocrity. Next up is the Cleveland Browns. I think this job is a little better than the Cardinals for the simple fact of the draft capital. The front runner for this position is Jim Schwartz, their current defensive coordinator. The Browns defense was good. 90% of it was because Myles Garrett was playing out of his mind. Dude was, as we like to call, going nuclear. So he's the front runner. They're thinking about giving him a chance. He has secured a second interview for the position.
Jay, I thought about something.
What's up?
We got to mention the Miami defensive end name. I forgot his name off the top of my head. But what if he goes to Cleveland? My goodness, bro. And learns.
Learning the Garrett, yeah.
Yes, what I got to put the Miami defensive.
They took Mason Graham, too, the defensive tackle last year. And he was pretty good. He had his moments.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Ruben Bain, bro. You have Ruben Bain on one side and Myles Garrett on the other. Man. And then you got that young defensive tackle y'all just drafted.
Yeah.
Because think about
one thing
this.
The Browns have always had historically is a pretty good defense. Either they've been great or they've been good.
Man, I wouldn't want to play them, bro. You got Ruben Bain, Myles Garrett.
Just got to figure out the offense. So because of that, I think they should go offensive-minded head coach because your defense is set, man. Your defense is and the Browns defense normally is set. I remember a couple years ago they didn't have like as good of a front seven, but they had a great secondary. So it's like they always had a good defense, no matter what was going on. Now, granted, their offense has been stir-fry. So it's like you only can do so much as a defense. You hold a team to 7 points in the first half, and they come drop 17 because your offense can't do anything. It's deflating.
Yeah.
They're also looking at the OC of Jacksonville, Grant Udinski, and the OC of Baltimore Ravens, who I don't personally think was that great, Todd Monken. Next job that I thought was a little better. Like I said, I'm going from worst job to best job available. The Dolphins hire Jeff Hanley, DC from the Packers, and I'm not shocked. After they hired the GM, it was only a matter of time before he brought somebody from there with him. What do you think of this hire as a Dolphins fan?
I'm gonna just say this: we had one Packers coach that we hired, and that junk went horrible. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Mm-mm.
Joe Philbin. He was the offensive coordinator for the Packers, and that job was he did horrible. And so everybody's like, they're like, we're the Packers JV team because we keep hiring people from the Packers. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say the GM hired his buddy because he's like this might take a few years for us
Yeah.
to get back on our feet because you have bad contracts. You had that Tua contract. What are you going to do with Tyreek Hill? What are you going to do with Bradley Chubb? Uh, you have Chop. The jury's still out on him. How do you feel about Chop Robinson?
I agree with you. The jury's still out on him. He's had moments, and he's played well in those moments, but it's not consistent enough as I personally would like it. He reminds me of Jalen Phillips before his last year, before that year where he broke his ankle or whatever. Tore his Achilles. Before he tore his Achilles that season, he was playing out of his mind that season. Yeah. And before that injury. So until we see something like that, I agree with you. The verdict is still out on him. He's been up and down.
I'm gonna say this. Can you name 5 building blocks on the Dolphins?
Jalen Waddle.
Okay, number 1.
Chop, because he is young pass rusher. He's like I say, he showed flashes. You might not like it, but Grant.
2 more. How do you forget the best offensive player on the team, bro?
The best offensive player on the Achane. But his contract up. Is Miami gonna pay him? Are they gonna have the money to pay him?
They got 1 more year for him.
That's why I didn't mention his name because I'm thinking about his contract.
And the 5th, I talked about this player, and he became an untouchable for me.
Oh, wow! You talking about Pat?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you the 5 that the GM named.
Okay.
He named Patrick Paul. He named Achane. He named Waddle. He named Aaron Brewer, the center, because he got an All-Pro nod, and then he named Brooks, who got an All-Pro nod.
Okay.
To me, Aaron Brewer is a great center, but it's like I think he's 27, 28. So I'm like, you got a leader.
He gets powers.
Yes, yeah. I'm like, by the time that you're good, will he still be on that level? And it's like, are they going to change the offensive scheme because the Dolphins ran a zone blocking scheme with Mike McDaniel? Will he still be effective in a new scheme? Is my question.
It's going to be very interesting to see this team with a defensive-minded coach. I'm curious who they bring in for their OC.
Mm-hmm.
Have they named their OC yet? I don't think so, right?
No.
Okay.
We have no idea.
I'm curious to see what direction they're going to go with their OC. It has been a hot shot name. I heard from, I want to say, LA, the passing game coordinator. I can't pronounce his last name. It's a very unique last name. But he's been a name floating, but he's young. He's like our age young. So wow. I think that one's a long shot, but I have heard his name mentioned a few times.
You know who I wanted for the Dolphins head coach? I wanted Chris Shula. That's who I wanted.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, he have something to prove.
True. That is true.
Your grandfather was the greatest coach of all time.
And isn't he technically from Miami? He grew up in Miami, right? Or no?
He had.
That's why I'm assuming he had to grow up in Miami.
Yeah. His grandfather, the greatest Dolphins coach of all time.
Yeah.
Sure, some people say he's the greatest coach of all time. I don't know about that one, but he has the most wins, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he does have the most. That's why people say he's great, because he has the most wins, correct. Which is leads us to our next one. The Tennessee Titans have hired Robert Saleh as their head coach.
I'm gonna say this. He's a great DC to me.
Yes. especially what he did
but
with that terrible Niners defense with all the injuries.
but his offense has always been a problem.
Has he had a quarterback though? He did. He had Darnold.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. His offense has always been a question mark. So we'll see. He has a quarterback in place that unfortunately he's tied to. And the reason why I say unfortunately, because as a head coach, you want to pick your guys. You don't get to pick your guy when you took a quarterback number 1 overall the previous year.
That's
and it's not to say I don't believe in Cam, but like I said, as a coach coming in, you want to pick your guys unless it's a bona fide stud like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I'm fine walking into that situation.
Yeah.
But you got a kid that's unproven who didn't have the best of situation that prior season. So we shall see.
Guess his OC. Guess who his OC might be?
Who?
He got fired recently from Miami.
Oh, Miami's OC?
No. Miami former head coach.
Oh, McDaniels?
That might be a possibility, bro.
We'll see. I think there's a lot of opportunities for him to be a head coach still. I really wanted him to go to Kansas City, but that ship has sailed, so we shall see. For the Raiders job, their front runner is Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator of Seattle. McDaniels has a second interview scheduled fairly soon. He's the former head coach of the Dolphins. We were just talking about him. And the third place candidate is Jesse Minter, the DC of the Chargers. What do you think of this race?
I think Clint Kubiak is going to get it. But the Raiders situation could be one of the worst or the best, depending on what y'all do with y'all moves.
Yeah. That's why I had this one middle of the pack, because it could be a bad situation, but it could be a really good situation. You got number 1 pick. That's value. Like I said, I value draft capital highly when I made my list, and then I went about the organizational history and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, if you're the Raiders, right,
mm-hmm.
and you can't move from the first pick, nobody wants it. The Ravens are like, nah, we don't want to trade.
Hypothetical.
No, I'm just doing hypotheticals. The Ravens are like, nah, we ain't gonna trade Lamar for it. Okay. Who would you take with the number 1 pick?
You can't take Mendoza. You're gonna put him in a bad situation. I understand you might not believe in Geno, but we got to build this offensive line, because it doesn't matter if you get 07 Tom Brady back there. That offensive line is terrible.
Hey, Jay, I'm taking Bain. I'll tell Geno, keep doing what you're doing so get us number 1 pick again.
That's what I'm saying. And that's part of it too. I'll roll Geno out one more year, try to beef up the offensive line, be like, all right, Geno, you understand if you're bad this year, we're going to go get our quarterback last year. You got one more chance. We're going to go get him next year.
Hey, Jay, I'll be tanking, but they can't say I'm tanking. I'm cutting Geno right now and putting out the worst quarterback possible out there on the field. We getting our quarterback. We drafting Bain, and we getting our quarterback next year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be good to replace because you got to break it down, because like I said, Crosby's not happy, so you'll bring in Bain. He's a really good edge rusher, and then Crosby's obviously going to be on the move. So yeah, I mean, that may be the smartest decision. If, like I said, I would trade back first and foremost, though. Next up is the Steelers job. Top of the list is Chris Shula, DC of the Rams. Next is Brian Flores, DC of the Vikings. And the third name that surprised me, Mike McCarthy is in the running for this job. And there's one more who has a second interview scheduled for Friday, I believe. Do you know who, Money?
Don't tell me, dog, on Mike McDaniel.
Anthony Weaver.
Oh, the Dolphins DC.
He has a second interview scheduled Friday.
I knew he was tied to the Dolphins, the person you're going to bring up. But I'm going to say this. That's why Chris Shula probably was like, forget the Dolphins. I could go to the Steelers.
And the thing that makes the Steelers job so special is you're going to get a long leash. They've had 3 head coaches in 50 years. Wow. You're going to get a long leash. And then you have the Shula name already. People love, like you said, people love and respect Shula. Then you come in trying to be your own. They're going to give you the longest leash because that team's going to take some time to rebuild. So I think that's where he's going to end up. I think Shula will get that job. For the namesake and the history of the Steelers, I think that's one of the better jobs to land for the simple fact of you're going to have such a long leash. A lot of head coaches nowadays, they get 3 years tops and then they're out of there. I think the Steelers organization is going to be extremely patient with him and give him the time to build the team into his liking and make moves.
Hey, and you get to pick your quarterback because Aaron Rodgers won't be there.
Exactly. So I think that's a good one. Flores, I think Flores is just going to miss this coaching cycle. There's not too many good jobs available. And for the ones that are, which is crazy because it's like 10 jobs available. But for the ones that are available, I'm not hearing his name in the top 3 mentioned.
You know why, right?
Because of that lawsuit.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why he won't get a job.
Yeah.
It's sad because my team was wrong in that situation, but due to the fact that he's suing the NFL, I think they're going to use him as, hey, we used him as a chance, but because they got the Rooney Rule. I think some teams
you got to interview
rule.
black coaches or something like that. Yeah.
And you know what? The Dolphins, you know who they interviewed?
Who?
The Raiders DC.
They could have been smart, just interviewed their coach. Like, all right, we're going to give you an interview, even though we're not hiring you. That's what they could have used it on.
But I don't understand why the Dolphins had to hire that rule because they hired 2 minority coaches back to back.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get the reason. It's sad that we need a rule like that, like you have to interview a minority coach, but I understand why they did it.
But it's like, we had 2 back to back. Like, why we got to follow that rule? I think if the Dolphins were inept from the rule, I would understand it. But they just brought the guy in.
It forces a team like the Patriots, who only had 1 black starting quarterback, and that was in the 21st century in their entire organizational history, forcing them to give the guys an interview.
Well, they had one, and he got fired after 1 year.
After 1 year. So, yeah.
And then they let the other one get plenty of cap space. The coach after get plenty of cap space.
They spent no money that year he was there. And then they following season, they spent the most money in the offseason. How do you go from spending the least amount of money, who had the most cap space, with the black head coach? You fire him, get the new head coach in. All right, get whatever you need. So I think that played a part too. It was a what they say. It was a heist job. It was a fleece job. There we go.
Yeah,
that boy got set up. New York Giants hired John Harbaugh.
You already know. We already had a conversation about this. You know how I felt about that one.
Yeah, it was a quick hire too, I thought.
Yeah.
And this one, we talked about it on our last episode. The Falcons, Kevin Stefanski was the favorite, and it's official now. Kevin Stefanski is the head coach of the Falcons. What are your thoughts?
I'm not a fan of him, bro. Like, I don't like how he did Shador. And then you're giving this man another young quarterback. And Penix,
who's not that great, to be honest. Didn't look good.
I think Shador potentially could be better than Penix.
I agree.
So I'll say we'll see. But good luck, ATL fans, the Falcons fans, get doggone.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Stefanski is a good hire. On top of, you need a quarterback. So, but we shall see. I mean, that works for me as a Panthers fan. Y'all will be in the wilderness another 10 years. So. Next on the job list, the Ravens head coaching spot. Do you know who the number 1 contender to land this job is, Money?
Weaver.
Weaver is the favorite to land this Ravens job. Up second is Jesse Minter, the DC of the Chargers. And the third name that kind of surprised me was David Webb. He's the passing game coordinator for the Broncos. What do you think of this job?
Bro, this job is a great job. You have talent. You have a quarterback. You got Derrick Henry in the backfield. You have, if you can get Hamilton back to all-pro levels, you got an all-pro safety. You have a good corner in Humphreys. You have talent on that team.
Next up, we got Buffalo. The Bills surprisingly fired Sean McDermott after 9 seasons. He had a great record too. I want to say it was like 136 and 58 or 120 something and 58. I thought he was a really good coach. I was really surprised by this one, but that just told me it was Super Bowl or bust. They already made up their mind they're going to fire him. Another crazy part is their GM Bean got promoted, and it's like you're going to fire the head coach. Yes, you're going to fire the head coach, but promote your GM. Keep in mind, Brian Bean. I think that's his name. Is Brian or Brandon Bean? Mr. Bean. That's his last name. I know that for sure. Bean has drafted in 8 years, money, 2 Pro Bowlers, 2 All Pros. No, excuse me, 2 Pro Bowlers, not even All Pros.
That's not including Josh Allen. Or is that including Josh Allen?
That's including Josh Allen. Not All Pro, 2 Pro Bowlers, money. You know how easy it is to make the Pro Bowler. You drafted 2 Pro Bowlers in 8 years, and that's it? All the other talent you have on that team has been signed through the offseason?
You know, it's funny the Dolphins did that. And they drafted, and I think they drafted horrible.
So, and this is the same man you're going to promote? So I thought that was crazy. I thought they both should have got the boot. So very unfortunate. The favorite to land this job is Brian Daboll, the former head coach of the Giants, who just got the can during the season. Clint Kubiak is the second name, the OC of the Seattle for this job. And my dark horse.
Don't say Mike.
Bill Belichick.
Hey, Jay, I thought that Joe Brady was going to be given this job, their OC.
Yeah, because I thought they really liked him too, but no, he's not the top candidate from it. I think Belichick should get this job, man. Bill Belichick, they get a quarterback. Belichick's known for turning defenses around. If he comes in there and is serious about his business, this could be a scary team, and he gets to play the Patriots twice a year. Why would you not take this job as Bill?
I don't want Bill to get his job, bro. I have to go against him twice a year.
And it gives Bill an opportunity to catch Shula's record, which we all know it means something to him. Yes. He wants to pass Shula's record. This is your opportunity. Take this Buffalo job.
We'll see. We'll see. Any more coaching updates?
That's all we have at the moment.
I got some news I don't think you've seen.
What's that?
Your boy Trayvon Diggs got released from the Packers. Did you see that?
I mean, yeah. It was bound to happen. The season over. He didn't add nothing. You thought they was going to hold on to him?
It's crazy that he got released for the Cowboys. Didn't the Packers? They didn't give him a chance? Like they were like, nah, 2 games. You don't know the playbook, but we're going to give you 2 games anyways.
The expectations are high in the NFL, not for long. I believe he's going to try to play with his brother. I think Diggs is on a 1-year deal too. Wherever Diggs goes, I think Trayvon is going to try to go with him. So I do believe they'll be on the same team next year. That's my future prediction.
We'll see. Remember, you and I have called it first if it happens. So you ready to talk about the playoffs?
Yes, sir. What you got for me?
Oh, man. I can't believe it, but the Broncos beat the Bills 33-30. I'm going to have to bring up the stats, bro. I'm going to have to bring up the stats. How about this? Josh Allen, your boy, 25 of 39, 283, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Cooks had a good game, bro. 24 for 117. And then Kincaid, 6 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. I think, who would you put the blame on for losing this game? Because when they got the ball back in the second half and started scoring, I was going to say the Broncos were going to lose that game. I could have bet. Allen.
He had 4 turnovers. You're supposed to be a leader of this team. You're turning the ball over one team. This is your year. You're the reason your head coach got fired. There's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Joe Burrow. These are all the top dogs that you don't have to worry about. This is your chance, and you blew it like a bomb.
Hey, Jay, you didn't even make it to the AFC Championship either.
And I think that was the only thing that could have saved McDermott's job, making it to the championship game, the AFC Championship game, and he did it. He played poorly in the show. The Cooks has been the best running back in football all year. And how many yards he had this game?
117, but he did have a fumble.
You know what I'm saying? So you got your star guys having a fumble. I know last week he didn't play well. They didn't run the ball very good. So
you think that's probably why Joe Brady didn't get the opportunity?
You can't put that on the OC, but I mean, I don't know. I know they've loved Dayball since he left or whatever to take that head coaching job in New York, but yeah,
Okay.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it's on Josh Allen. Josh Allen, and he owned it. He owned it in the post-game interview because they knew this is their chance, and they blew it. Because now, a year from now or 2 years from now, when they're back ready to try to push, Patrick Mahomes is back. Who knows what's going to happen with the Bengals, but let's say theoretically the Bengals bounce back.
The Ravens.
The
Steelers potentially could be better.
So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Don't forget about the Patriots.
Oh, that is true. You didn't even win your own division.
You didn't even win your own division. So that's where you gotta start in your division. You done ran the division for what, 5-6 years? He won it?
Yeah.
Now you gotta win your division, then worry about the playoffs. So yeah, Josh.
Jay, then you gotta think about it. What if the Jets or Dolphins turn it around? Because the Jets got plenty of draft capital.
I mean, I don't believe in the Jets. They're a clown show organization. Even with all their draft capital, it's just bad. Their head coach is bad. The team's bad. Their quarterback's bad. This is a bad team. But yeah, so.
With the Broncos.
He has to be better. Josh Allen was a roller coaster. I said that either last episode or a couple episodes ago. He went from played nice and safe Josh Allen with hardly any turnovers to how he was Josh Allen, the roller coaster, where it's constant turnovers, where he's doing too much. He's trying to be a superhero when it's not needed. Sometimes, yes, we do need Josh Allen to put the cape on. That's one of his strengths, being Josh Allen, the superhero. This wasn't that game for it, man.
He was trying to be Batman when he needed to be Robin, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the Broncos. Bo Nix, 26 of 46. So he didn't have a crazy game for 279, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He also was their leading rusher, Jay. 12 carries.
Bo Nix played better than any quarterback this weekend.
12 carries for 24 yards? That's their leading rusher.
Yeah, that was bad.
That's horrible. And then they had Mims, 8 for 93 and a touchdown. I'm surprised that your Pro Bowl wide receiver, I would never draft him again, by the way. Where's their Pro Bowl wide receiver, Jay?
Sutton? Is he hurt?
Yeah, he wasn't hurt. Sutton wasn't hurt.
Oh, I don't know.
He was MIA to the fourth quarter, Jay.
That's the money quarter, though. It don't matter what I do the first 3 quarters. High and.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the Patriots versus the Texans. The game was 28-16 Patriots. Jay, I think me and you could have went out there and played as good as CJ. 20 of 47, 212, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. I'm going to say this. I think he misses Nico. He missed Nico Collins.
I think CJ Stroud is not that good. He had the crazy. I'm a big energy person. I'm big on what you put out there in the atmosphere. He had the great rookie year. Then he won a national tour saying he's a top 5 quarterback. His name needs to be respected. Look what he did. He's just getting started. And you putting all this out there, and it's like, okay.
How about this, Jay? I got to show this for you. How's it going, Jay?
Oh, what's going on, Jay? Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
But it's I'm not a Falcons fan, so I love it. He liked the Saints. I remember he commented about it. He liked the Saints. Yeah, I'm right there with you. As long as everyone else in the division doing poorly. So hey, I'm fine with it too. But no, he has to be better. In the previous game, he had 5 turnovers. He kept fumbling the ball. And then everyone's like, he'll be better. That's another thing that shocked me, hearing everyone saying he'll be better. I'm like, why are we expecting him? Someone needs to tell him, like, hey, bro, he should have been benched at halftime. Money, he wasn't throwing with anticipation. He wasn't confident. He wasn't stepping into his throws. And you know what my hot take is, bro?
What?
When he was on the sideline looking at that iPad, I don't think it was nothing on that iPad. He just did not. He wanted to be anywhere but in that game. He was like looking at the damn thing. He was just up there praying like, God, let it be over. Why is this happening? He wasn't looking at nothing on that iPad. You hear me? He wanted to be out of that stadium. And he should have been benched, bro.
Hey,
he should have been benched.
Jay,
I don't know why you
didn't 8 turnovers that game. 8 turnovers that game.
Insane. And they could have won that game. That's the crazy part because
they have 5.
Let's keep it a bean. The Patriots, Drake May. You know I love Drake May. He played like stir fry. It looked like me and you out there playing quarterback. It was bad. Both them boys was playing bad. And so I'm just like, what is going on? It was so much defense played in that game. Like only true football fans appreciate that game because it was so much defense. And it made me realize, like, I knew the Texas defense was good, but I was like, yo, these boys are good enough to win the Super Bowl good.
Yes. Jay.
And so just to see your quarterback be the reason, like it was one time they got the turnover.
The running back was part of the reason too. Jay, the running back 14 for 17 and a fumble.
Not good, man. Not good. And it was one play, I want to say, what's their safety name? I can't think of his name.
Petrie?
Not other one, not Petrie, the big one, the 6'3" one.
Dang, I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. I see his face right now. I can't think of his name. But him, he got an interception or he got a turnover or something. And you know how the team usually get hyped. He wasn't even hyped because he knew CJ was going to go out there and give him the ball back. He knew already. He was finna, like, bro, they finna give this man the ball back. And so, man, yeah, it was bad, bro. It was bad from start to finish. They could have easily won that game if CJ wasn't playing like dog water.
Jay, at that point, you might as well handed the ball off all 3 downs. How bad he was playing.
You got his QBR written down, Money?
Nah, hold on. I'll check real quick. I'm going to check real quick.
Because I believe he had a QBR of like 22 or 25 or something like that.
It probably was lower. 21.
Okay, I knew it was low. So listen, for the viewers at home who might not know too much about the statistics of football, if CJ Stroud takes the snap and throws it into the ground the entire game, he'll have a QBR of 33.3. He had a lower QBR throwing it to people than he would have just thrown it straight into the ground. That's hard. That's terrible, bro. That's terrible.
It is.
You can't make this stuff up.
That's ridiculous. And then his best receiver is Jaden Higgins, 6 for 59. So it's like, I'm like, man, nobody even got 100 yards.
He got a pick. 3 of those interceptions on CJ. I don't know what he was looking out there. Like, even Troy Aikman at one point was like, I don't know what CJ looking at. Like, he was trying to defend him at first. He's like, he thought he could get it in there. And he's like, oh, maybe he felt he could. Then that last one, he was like, I don't know what CJ saw there.
Hey, Jay,
I don't know what he's looking at.
You might have, hey, Jay, how bad CJ was playing. You might as well have brought out Troy Aikman for the
bro, yes. But it was so bad. Like, I never seen somebody fold under pressure 2 games in a row like that. This dude had 10 turnovers in 2 games, Money. That's some stuff you do on Madden with a 60 overall team playing against the all-time legends. That's insane.
Ridiculous. I thought he would have been better.
Play better, man.
And it was snowing. I'm going to talk about the Patriots stats. Drake made 16 of 27, 179, 3 touchdowns, a pick. Stevenson, 16 for 70. And Keyshawn Battle, 3 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. I never heard of him. Yeah, Booty. I never heard of him until that game, bro. I'm going to be honest with you.
He was playing. He was good all the season.
I'm going to just be honest. I never heard of him until that game. Just be real with you.
Dude went crazy like week 1, week 2.
Bro, I wasn't paying attention to the Patriots at that time period, bro. I'm gonna be
You should have
honest
been
with you.
because they got on y'all ass too.
Because I remember Diggs out there balling out.
Yeah, and he had the crazy. You saw his one hand touchdown
Yeah,
and that
actually,
inclement weather.
yeah, I seen that.
All right, you ready for the NFC?
Yeah,
Los Angeles Rams beat the Chicago Bears 20-17 in overtime, and Rams advanced to the NFC Championship game. Chicago jumped up early with some strong drives, but the Rams struck first with a ground score by Kyron Williams to take a 7-0 lead. The Bears answered built a small lead on the field goal, and the game stayed tight up until halftime, 10-10. Neither team scored on the chilly third quarter, turning the contest into a defensive slugfest. Midway through the fourth, the Rams regained the lead 17-10 with a second rushing score by Kyron Williams. Late in the game, with time winding down, Caleb Williams scrambled and launched an unbelievable deep strike to Cole Kmet on 4th and 4, tying the game. He threw it 51 yards on that pass, money.
Jay, that
After he
seemed like some
backtracked
junk.
like 4 times.
Jay, that seemed like some junk in Madden. That's some junk you would have thrown in Madden, bro.
Honestly, bro, that is the best throw I've seen all year. And I'm not even a Caleb Williams fan. That was the best throw I've seen all year. He retreats off his back foot, money. He's fading away. He looked like CJ Stroud, but with more talent. Because Stroud was throwing off his back foot, playing like stir fry. He wasn't stepping into these throws. It was bad. But he threw it off his back foot 51 yards. Nuts. And then overtime, Chicago's opening possession stalled when Caleb Williams threw an interception to Cameron Curl, giving the Ravens a chance.
We got to talk about that play, Jay.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that play. Because I remember me and you were talking on the phone. I was like, Jay, did you see that play? You're like, I don't know. Like, you're like, man, it's Caleb Williams' fault. Well,
yeah, I saw the first angle. From the first angle, it looks like Caleb's fault. Caleb threw a bad ball. But then when you sent me the clip where it showed the other angle and it showed DJ Moore hot dogging it.
You got to explain to the viewers about that route concept.
Basically, so supposedly they tried to stick up for DJ and say, oh, it was a new route concept to where he had a choice route between a post and a drag. In a post, you go at the angle of the goal post. That's why it's called a post. A drag route or a dig route means you're digging across the middle of the field because there's people there and you got to dig between them. But you have to be flat and you have to be decisive on the option route. DJ Moore was not decisive and he was jogging. So he come off and then he comes off initially dragging. Then he starts floating upfield like he's deciding to run the post. Caleb, who wasn't under the rest, that's why I initially blamed Caleb because he wasn't under the rest and he threw a ball that was picked off. Because DJ Moore didn't give him the definitive route, he threw it and then ended up getting picked off. But you got to look at DJ Moore's effort. No matter what the concept is, if DJ Moore runs the route, whether he runs the post or he runs that dig across the field, you're giving Caleb a target. Some people say Caleb should have kept it and ran. Some people say he should throw away to fight another day because he had time.
What would you have done in that? Explain to the viewers, what would you have done in that position with the route concept? What would you have done for your quarterback in that position? What would you have?
What would I've done? It depends on if I think I can beat that safety. And also
all that space, though. You got all that space.
It depends on the down situation. Like, for example, if it's 3rd or 4th down, I'm cutting across his face. We need this first down. If it's 1st or 2nd, I'm gonna try to beat him over that top. I'm running that post. That's how I would play it. But we needed this first down, especially with overtime. You got to cut across his face. You can't be jogging and then start floating on your wrap and then it gets undercut.
So you'd have ran a dig.
Yeah.
In that open field. Because that's where it looked like he was throwing it. He expected him to run that dig.
He expected him to be there, but because he let up and wasn't running the route, that's what happened.
Do you think he was tired or he was just hot dogging it?
There's no excuse. You can take yourself out the game. There's no excuse for you to be hot dogging. And then another one, Roma Doomsday dropped the touchdown pass. So, although it was things that happened, ultimately, I think the better team won, plain and simple, man. DJ Moore jogging on that route don't help, but Caleb had 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
So I think the Rams was the better team, and the better team won. And then, as we all know, with the ball in position, Harrison Mevis, or the thicker kicker as they call him, drilled a 42-yard field goal to win the game 20-17. You ready for the next one?
We ain't got to say much about the next one.
Yeah, it's going to be short and sweet. Seattle monkey stomped the 49ers 41-6, and the Seattle Seahawks advanced to the NFC Championship game for the first time since 20. I forget the year. But it was one-sided all day. Seattle put on a performance statement. They dominated all three phases and never let San Francisco get in comfort. Opening kickoff, 95-yard run by Rashid Shaheed, which honestly, that was a trade that I didn't think much of. When that trade initially happened, I didn't think much of. But he's been such an impact player for them. It's been wild. It's been wild how big of an impact he's had for that team. And congratulations to not only him, because he was starting to become to that, okay, he's a whatever player. He's making an impact for himself. He's probably going to get paid this offseason. And Seattle realizing, like, hey, this guy's going to make a difference for our team. And they traded for him. So shout out to Seattle GM for that move. He's been great for them. He's been excellent.
Yeah, brought in Sam Darnold. He draft Zach.
Yeah.
Like I agree with you. When they made that trade, I'm like, I didn't pay attention much to it.
Yeah.
And he's been making an impact. And then that boy K9 was balling out, man. He got to carry the load because your boy Zach is out for the season.
As Mike was just saying, he likes to call him K9, but his name is Kenneth Walker III. Balling. 166 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was definitely the game's MVP. Seattle forced turnovers and controlled the clock. 49ers never settled and got into a rhythm. The Seahawks head into an NFC Championship game for the first time since 2014. The 49ers season in a lopsided fashion, their worst playoff defeat in decades. Like I said, man, it's not much to say about it. It got late early, and it was bad. The injuries finally caught up to them, like we mentioned before. They've been an injury-riddled team, and it finally caught up to them, sadly.
Hey, I was a week too early. The injuries caught up to him.
Yeah, you did say that the prior week, but it was this week.
Man. That game wasn't close.
No.
At all. And I'm gonna say, the funny thing is both our picks have made it to the to the conference final, the NFC. So I picked Seattle, you picked the Rams. We're gonna have to have a conversation about that this Friday.
Who's going to the final dance?
Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation this Friday about our picks for the final dance and everything because I'm ready for it.
I am too. I'm excited.
They play Sunday, right?
I think both games are Sunday. Yeah. Let me see real quick.
Because I know that they've been playing on Saturdays.
Yep, they both Sunday. Patriots play the Broncos at 3 p.m. We already know the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. Patriots going to the Super Bowl, and they're going to play either the Rams or the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
We all say we got a 90% chance of Patriots going to the Super Bowl, but knowing our luck, old buddy might pull out a Nick Foles.
If Jared the Javelin bum ass go out there and win the game, I'll be utterly shocked.
We see that happen, bro. Nick Foles
wasn't as terrible though. Nick Foles was a decent quarterback. Jared Stidham's horrible. We saw him play for the New England Patriots.
He's.
But hey, any given Sunday, right? That's what they say.
Hey, Jay, this ain't the NBA Finals, bro. One bad game.
Yeah, one bad game
can make a difference. So we have to see, bro. So for everybody here, we'd like to thank you all for joining us to this live stream. We had a great time. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. I'm gonna put out a few things Jay said.
I hate that the Saints got rid of him. Saints fans knew what we had. Oh. Happy for the man though. If they get a ring, he deserves it. I mean, it's looking like it. It is looking like it. So only time will tell.
Yeah, we we have fun doing this and
Yeah, it's
everything.
like Money said. Please leave a comment. Please like, subscribe. We'll be back Friday. We're aiming for 5 p.m. That's the time we should be back Friday. We're gonna live stream again. So yeah, tune in. We'll also do a notification. If there's anything you want us to guys talk about for our actual podcast episode, please let us know. Until next one, I'm Jay Safety, aka Two Wavy Jason.
I'm F Money. I'm Money for sure. Take it easy, y'all.
Peace.